Hey everyone, welcome back to Learn English podcast with Clara and Mark, the show where we talk, learn, and grow together.
That's right. Today's episode is called Grow. Flourish. Three powerful words that describe the journey of becoming your best self.
Exactly. We'll explore what it means to grow as a person, how to keep your inner glow alive, and finally, what flourishing really looks like in everyday life.
So grab your favorite drink, sit back, and let's dive into today's conversation about how we can truly grow, glow, and flourish.
Let's start with the first word, grow. I think this is where everything begins, right? Growth is the foundation of becoming who we're meant to be.
Absolutely. Growth is like planting a seed. It doesn't become a tree overnight. You have to water it, give it sunlight, and be patient. And the same goes for personal growth. It's slow, but it's worth it.
That's such a great analogy. I think a lot of people expect instant results. They want success, happiness, or confidence right away. But real growth takes time and consistency.
Exactly. I remember when I first started learning public speaking, I was terrified. My hands were shaking, my voice cracked, and I forgot half my words. But I kept practicing, one small step at a time. Now it feels natural.
Wow, that's a great example. I think everyone can relate to that feeling of being a beginner and feeling awkward. But as you said, every small effort adds up.
Totally. And I think growth also means embracing discomfort. You can't grow if you only do what's easy or familiar.
Yes, growth lives outside your comfort zone. When you try something new, like starting a business, learning a language, or even setting boundaries, you're training yourself to expand.
I like that. It's like stretching a muscle. At first it hurts a little, but over time, you become stronger and more flexible.
Exactly. And you know what's interesting? Growth doesn't always look exciting. Sometimes it looks like struggle, confusion, or even failure.
Right. Growth isn't glamorous. Sometimes it means facing your fears or letting go of something, maybe a job, a friendship, or an old habit that doesn't serve you anymore.
That's so true. And it's hard to recognize growth when you're in the middle of it. Sometimes you only see it when you look back.
Yes, like when you realize, wow, I handled that situation better than I would have a year ago. That's growth. Quiet, but powerful.
Exactly. It's like inner evolution. You may not notice it day by day, but over time, you change. You become wiser, calmer, and stronger.
You know, Clara, I think growth also happens when we learn from others. Sometimes one conversation or one book can completely shift your mindset.
Absolutely. Growth doesn't always mean doing everything on your own. It can also mean being open. Open to feedback, open to learning, open to change.
And open to failure, too. Failure is such a big teacher.
Totally. I used to hate making mistakes, but now I realize mistakes are proof that you're trying, that you're moving forward.
Exactly. You can't grow if you're too afraid to take risks.
So true. And I think that's something our listeners should remember. Growth isn't about being perfect. It's about being progressive. Just keep moving, even if it's one small step a day.
Beautifully said. Whether it's improving your English, starting a new habit, or working on your mindset, what matters is that you're growing, not how fast you're doing it.
Yes, because growth is not a race, it's a journey.
Exactly. And the best part? The journey never really ends. You can always grow in new ways, emotionally, mentally, spiritually.
That's what makes life so beautiful. Growth keeps us alive, curious, and evolving.
I couldn't agree more.
All right, Now that we've talked about growth, let's move to the second word, xiao, glow. I really love this one, Mark. It just feels so positive and full of light.
Same here. When I hear the word glow, I imagine someone who's confident, peaceful, and genuinely happy from within. It's not about makeup or appearance. It's that inner light people give off when they're content with themselves.
Exactly. You can always tell when someone is glowing. It's in their smile, the way they talk, their energy. Even if they're not saying much, you can feel it.
Yes, I think that kind of glow comes from living authentically, when you stop pretending to be someone else and start accepting who you are.
That's so true. I remember a time when I was always comparing myself to others, trying to look like them, talk like them, even think like them. But the more I tried, the more I lost my own glow.
Wow, I totally relate to that. I think comparison is one of the biggest glow stealers. When we compare, we stop appreciating what's unique about us.
Exactly. The moment I started focusing on my own journey instead of trying to match someone else's timeline, I felt lighter and honestly, happier.
That's what glow is. It's that peaceful confidence you get when you're at ease with who you are.
And I think it's also connected to how we take care of ourselves. Like, when you sleep enough, drink water, move your body, and feed your mind with good things, you naturally glow.
Totally. I've noticed that too. When I take care of my body and mind, I not only feel better, but people around me notice the difference.
Right. Because your glow is contagious. When you're positive, it inspires others to shine too.
Yes, I once heard someone say, "You glow differently when you're genuinely happy." And it's so true.
Absolutely. But happiness isn't something that just happens. It's something you create by your habits, your mindset, and the way you treat yourself.
Exactly. And sometimes glowing means protecting your peace, like saying no to things that drain you or walking away from toxic situations.
Yes, people often think glowing is all about smiling and being cheerful all the time, but it's not. It's also about setting boundaries and respecting your own energy.
That's such an important point. You can't glow if you're constantly burned out or trying to please everyone.
True, sometimes glowing means resting, recharging, and giving yourself permission to pause.
I like that. Because when you rest, you recover your light. And when you recover your light, you can share it again with others.
Exactly. I also think gratitude plays a big role in glowing. When you focus on what's going right instead of what's wrong, your whole energy shifts.
Yes, it's like turning on a light inside you. Even on bad days when you find small things to be grateful for, a friend's message, a good cup of coffee, a sunset, it changes your perspective.
Totally. And the more you practice gratitude, the more you start glowing naturally. Because you're not waiting for perfect moments to be happy, you create happiness right where you are.
That's so beautifully said. And I think that's what makes glowing so powerful. It's not about having a perfect life. It's about finding light in the imperfect moments.
Yes, your glow comes from within, from kindness, from peace, and from living in alignment with your values.
And the more you live like that, the brighter you shine. Not just for yourself, but for everyone around you.
So true. Maybe that's our little challenge for listeners this week. Do one thing that makes you glow.
Great idea. It could be journaling, calling someone you love, taking a walk, or even just smiling at a stranger.
Yes, small things make a big difference. And remember, glowing isn't about perfection, It's about being genuine, kind, and full of gratitude.
Beautifully said, Clara. So grow to become better and glow to shine from within.
Exactly. And in the next segment, we'll talk about how to combine both to truly flourish.
So we've talked about growing, becoming stronger, wiser, and glowing, finding your inner peace and light. Now let's move to the third word, flourish.
Ah, yes. Flourish is such a beautiful word. When I hear it, I imagine a flower blooming in sunlight, open, alive, and full of color.
Exactly. Flourishing to me means living fully, not just surviving from day to day, but truly thriving.
Yes, and it's when growth and glow come together. You've learned, you've healed, and now you're living your life with joy and purpose.
That's right. Flourishing is about alignment, when your values, actions, and emotions are in harmony. You're not chasing happiness, you're living it.
Beautifully said. I think a lot of people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment to flourish. After they get the job, the relationship, the success. But flourishing doesn't depend on those things.
Exactly. You don't flourish after something happens. You flourish while you're living. It's a mindset.
Right. I remember during a really stressful time in my life, everything felt uncertain. But instead of waiting for things to get better, I focused on what I could control: gratitude, kindness, self care. And slowly, I started to flourish even in the chaos.
That's so powerful, Clara. I think flourishing also comes when we stop trying to control everything and start trusting the process.
Yes, because flourishing isn't about having a perfect life, it's about embracing life. The ups, the downs, the lessons, the laughter.
Absolutely. And part of flourishing is connection. You can't flourish alone. You flourish when you're surrounded by people who inspire, support, and challenge you.
Yes, like sunlight and water for plants, relationships nourish us. Being connected gives us purpose and joy.
And giving back, too. When you help others grow or share your light, that's also flourishing. It's like passing the flame forward.
I love that idea, that flourishing isn't just about personal happiness, but also about impact. When you're at peace, you naturally want to lift others up.
Exactly. You start asking questions like, how can I make someone's day better? Or, how can I contribute to something meaningful?
That's when you know you're truly flourishing, when your happiness expands beyond yourself.
Yes. And it doesn't have to be something huge. You don't need to change the world overnight. Flourishing can be as simple as sharing a smile, helping a friend, or doing your work with love.
Totally. It's those small, consistent acts that create a beautiful, flourishing life.
You know, I think of flourishing as a state of balance, where you feel fulfilled, but still curious, peaceful, but still passionate.
That's a perfect description. Flourishing is when you live intentionally, not on autopilot. You wake up each day with gratitude and purpose, even when life isn't perfect.
Exactly. It's the art of living well, no matter what's happening around you.
I love that. The art of living well. That's what flourishing really is.
So maybe the message here is, to flourish, you don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to nurture yourself, stay open, and keep growing and glowing.
Yes, flourish where you are, with what you have. The rest will follow.
Beautifully said, Clara. And I think that's the perfect bridge to our next part, sharing a few practical ways for our listeners to start flourishing in their own lives.
Yes. Let's give them some simple steps they can try today. So let's give our listeners some practical steps to grow, glow, and flourish.
Great idea. For grow, start small. Set one personal goal this week that challenges you just a little.
For glow, take time to recharge. Maybe meditate, go for a walk, or spend time with someone who lifts you up.
And for flourish, practice gratitude. Write down 3 things you're thankful for every day.
Yes. Gratitude is a simple way to remind yourself of how far you've come and how much beauty is around you.
So, to everyone listening, remember, growth takes time. Your glow comes from within, and flourishing happens when you live with purpose.
That's right. Don't rush your journey. Keep growing, keep glowing, and you'll find yourself flourishing naturally.
Thanks for tuning in to Learn English podcast with Clara and Mark.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a comment, and share it with someone who might need this reminder today.
Until next time, keep shining, keep learning, and keep flourishing.
Bye, everyone.